I'd like to share with you my thoughts on how mindfulness can help children better manage their emotions and impulse and also be more resilient in life generally, no matter what life may bring them. I was in a very impoverished neighborhood in New York City. It's called Spanish Harlem. And I visited a second grade classroom. These are 7-year-olds. And I watched them do something that they practice every day. Before I went, I thought the classroom would be quite chaotic because I heard that more than half the students in that classroom had what are called special needs, everything from attention deficit and hyperactivity to actually being on the autism spectrum. But I was quite surprised to see that everyone was quite calm and focused. These are 7-year-olds. I asked the teacher why that was, and she said, well, you'll see. And then they launched into a daily exercise of what they call belly buddies. Each student went one by one to their cubby, got their favorite little stuffed animal, found a place to lie down on the floor, and then watched the animal rise on the in-breath, fall on the out-breath, rise on the in-breath, fall on the out-breath, count 1, 2, 3 on the in-breath, 1, 2, 3 on the out-breath. This is an exercise in mindfulness. And it turns out that this is the key to why those children are so calm and so focused, despite all of the problems they have. When you think about it, mindfulness is a mental fitness exercise. The basic move is you keep your focus on your breath. Your mind's going to wander at some point, but you notice it wandered, and then you bring it back to the breath. This is akin to going to the gym and working out with a weight. Every time you lift that weight, every repetition makes that muscle that much stronger. And with mindfulness, every time you bring your mind back to the focus, you're making the neural circuitry for staying concentrated that much stronger. This is because of what's called neuroplasticity, where the more you work out a particular neural circuit, the more connected it gets, the stronger it gets. And this, though a new idea some 15 or 20 years ago, is now very well established in neuroscience. What you're doing is strengthening a circuit in the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the brain's executive center. And as you must know, the prefrontal cortex develops as children grow. In fact, the behavioral changes you see in children from infancy into childhood and teen years and then adulthood map exactly what's going on as the brain develops. The brain is the last organ of the human body to become anatomically mature. It reaches that in its mid-20s, which means that childhood offers a very special window of opportunity to help children develop the skills and the brain circuitry that will help them through life. And I think mindfulness is extremely important here. Consider the marshmallow test. This was an experiment done at Stanford University with 4-year-olds in a preschool there. One by one, they're brought into a room and sat down at a small table. A big juicy marshmallow is put on the table, and the experimenter says to the child, "You can have that now if you want, but if you wait till I run an errand and come back, you can have 2 then." And then she leaves the room. This is a situation that challenges any 4-year-old. About a third of them grabbed it and gobbled it down on the spot. Another third waited the endless 7 or 8 minutes, whatever it was, till the experimenter came back and they got 2. The payoff for research came 14 years later as these children were graduating high school, about to go to university. They're tracked down and the 2 groups compared, the ones who grabbed right away and the ones who waited. And they find remarkable differences. For one thing, the kids who grabbed versus the ones who waited didn't get along as well with their peers, still couldn't delay gratification in pursuit of their goals. And this is a direct test of delayed gratification. And interestingly and unexpectedly, out of 1,600 total points on the college entrance exam, they scored 210 points higher. This was amazing, even to the people who make up that exam when I told them about it. There at the Princeton group said, 210 points is as big a spread as we see between children whose parents have an advanced degree and children whose parents have only an elementary school education. It's astounding. But these were all the children of people at Stanford, very high IQ families, faculty, graduate students. So what's going on? I think that what's going on is an orthogonal dimension, something that isn't related to IQ. It's called cognitive control. Cognitive control is a child's ability to manage their impulses and their emotions well. And in a test of the long-term implication of cognitive control done in New Zealand, children were studied in detail between ages 4 to 8, and including, by the way, with a marshmallow test, evaluated on cognitive control, and then tracked down in their 30s. And they found that high cognitive control in childhood predicted better financial success in your 30s, better health, better citizenship. So this is the kind of training that helps children become more resilient, helps them with the vicissitudes of life. I've just finished a book called Altered Traits, in which my colleague, Richard Davidson, a neuroscientist at University of Wisconsin, and I looked at more than 6,000 peer-reviewed articles on meditation using very rigorous standards. We boiled them down to the 60 best. And what we found was a rough dose-response relationship. So the benefits of mindfulness show up right at the beginning. They include better concentration, better memory, better learning. But the longer you do it, if you do this over years, even 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, you see that the benefits get stronger and stronger and stronger, which is why I think every child should be learning these methods in school as part of the regular routine. After all, this helps children pay better attention, helps them learn better. It helps school fulfill their basic mission. It does something else too. The research shows that people who do mindfulness, including children, are triggered less. When they are triggered by an upset, it's less strong and they recover more quickly. The operative definition of resilience is how long it takes you to recover from the peak of an upset to normal, to baseline, to calm. And mindfulness helps children do that. So I don't see why we don't teach it to every child.